All right, so now we're going to take this shape, cut it out of a fresh piece of coroplast. And it is, again, it is 7 by 5. And I tend to keep the flutes going forward and back, so we'll just do it like that. Okay, so we need to measure 5 on this dimension here. And there. Sandy check. Make sure you don't cross any flutes because that's going to mean that you made a mistake. So it's square. Measure 7 out on this. And square. I'll make sure it's straight. There we go. That's our template. We'll cut it. Remember with coroplast, be careful. Too much pressure. The blade goes flying, it will cut your hand really badly. A couple of swipes is good. Plus having sharp blade. Okay. So I get this problem where you kind of have just a little skin hinge, you just fold it over like this. Just run the razor blade lightly right on the hinge. Just trying to keep it in there and come through pretty well. There you go. If you don't put too much pressure on it, you just go right where it belongs. All right, good. So that's going to be the new version of this. So the one measurement we need to know is the halfway point on it. 2.5 inches. Okay, I'm just going to mark that. Just to help with alignment. Sorry about clanking. Okay. Did that right? Oh, close enough. I didn't do that right. Let's see. That's basically what you want. Okay. So now, so we'll treat this as the top. That's the bottom. And what I'm going to do is something a little weird, which is I am going to put the Velcro on first, and just for at least one of the sides. For this design, I use I want the hook side of the Velcro to be here. So I'm going to start a little bit around the edge here. This is where the motor mount's going to be. Just flush with the end. And I'm wrapping it a little bit extra because if it's cold out or things are too sticky, this Velcro can come up. And so I'm just trying to make sure that that's going to be a really strong bond there. If you want to, you could probably wipe the coroplast with acetone or something, and that would be stronger than what I'm doing. And then we just cut it here. Sorry. Razor blade. And like that. Okay, so that's going to be what attaches, but we put the motor right here in between. The other reason we do this is I want to be sure, I want to know where the end of this is on the other side, so I'm just draw a line just to make this obvious to everybody. You don't have to do this. So I'm now going to place this motor on here, but the idea being that I don't want, this is where the zip ties are going to go through these holes. I don't want these zip ties to have to go through this material. It's going to make it a little bit proud of the surface. So I want this zip tie to just snick it. I want this as far back as I can get it until it's just on the edge of the zip tie. All right, because I don't want it interacting with the Velcro and making that thicker than it needs to be. Okay, so and then the other thing we want to do is we want to center the prop on that little mark there. You can see that. Maybe you can see where that is right there. This is not a super crucial thing. You just kind of want to get it mostly right. Okay, just eyeball it. All right, so I'm going to use a double-sided tape this time to put this together. And this will just make it stronger. You can use the foam tape, or this is outside double stick tape for hanging signs and stuff. It's pretty expensive stuff, but it's quite good. So I'm just going to put some of it here. I'm just going to use it to kind of hold everything together. It doesn't need to be perfect shape or anything like that. Zip ties are going to carry most of the load. You can use carpet tape as well. All right, but this is going to allow me to place it. So here I am, again, getting this just on the edge of where that mark is, and then centered. That looks pretty good to me. A little hard to see, but I think that's about right. And am I centered right there? That looks good. And if we look at it this way, yeah, let me see that kind of lines up pretty well. Okay, you want to make sure your prop shaft is well mounted. Anyway, okay, so that's the motor mount is now attached, and now reinforce it with zip ties. And you should reinforce it with zip ties. This takes a lot of force and crashes. So I'll just use my little puncher doodle. Just a small screwdriver will do for this. And then through all the way. You want the big blocky heads towards the front, just because they are going to be hard to tighten otherwise. Right. Okay, that's one. And we got another one. So that's a really nicely solidly mounted prop. Okay, and motor and motor mount combo. All right, so now we do the rest of it. So let's connect. As you attach things, make sure they connect and it'll reach where they need to go. This, because of experience, I know that this lead, because it comes off with the black, will go with the black. The middle one goes with the yellow. And the remaining one will go with red. Notice it also is coming from the red side here. Right there. Okay. That's the alignment. Okay, doesn't matter. You just reverse any two if it's not working out. And as long as we're placing the parts, let's go ahead and put the receiver in the correct. This is going to go in channel 3 with the black towards the back. So channel 1, 2, 3. And the reason I connect all these bits is I just want to make sure they're going to fit. Okay. Generally, you want the receiver turned around like this, so the crash forces will push into this area here. So we'll just put a zip tie right there, and it'll crash. It won't come out. So I'm going to put that right in the middle there, because I kind of want either servo to get to it, and then we'll just put this off to the side a little bit, this speed controller, and that's going to be our basic placement. Okay, good. I like that. So since the receiver is kind of controlling placement of things, I do not put double-sided tape on these components. They don't need it. They don't need that extra precision. Plus, probably having them move around a little bit and make them last a little longer, maybe. And crashes. And also makes them possible to replace in the field. Although you can replace them in the field with the tape, but it's more of a pain. You gotta fight with the tape. Okay. Tape did not want to let go. All right, so that's one. Go through. This may need to be doubled in order to fit. Let's see what we get. Oh, just got in. Okay, good. So that's a nice, well-secured receiver. And then we'll put the speed controller. Remember the smooth side. There's two sides. This is some of the little electronics here. You can see the pattern, but this nice smooth heat sink. You want this up and in the airflow. So I'm just going to put this off to the side. And the placement is meant to make sure these wires are not rubbing against the motor mount here, because they'll wear through eventually. So you just want this area here to be in space. You can make it a little neater and maybe hold that down, but I also don't want this to be able to get pulled back into the prop. So I'll probably put it just about like that. And be careful when you do this, because you can end up snicking these wires. That's the first one. That's the next one. I just put a little cross on there. Just keep it moving it on. Probably get away with just one, but it's the fore aft. This side, redo it. Stuff likes to heal itself. Be careful again. Put it through your hand, do not put it through the electronic component. Okay, out and about. So we're gonna have to double this zip tie, it's not long enough. So first thing you do is you wanna go with the one that needs one with the clickers on it. There you go. Put it through where you want to go. In between these two, you can see that I'm in between these wires. If you screw it up, doesn't matter, just We'll add them through later. You can always unconnect them and redo it. Or zip ties are cheap. Okay, so that's one. This is the other. Alrighty, and then we're gonna put the aerial, this little red thing is, off to the side here, kind of like that. There's different placement strategies for this, but I'll just put it here for right now. And up. Do watch your fingers if you're using something pointy to do this. Okay. What's up? So there's a little bit of an indent. There's a brass tube in here that we can use as really making this secure. And so we're just going to put those zip ties over right on either side of those end tubes. And you don't need to pull it down super tight. You just want to make sure it's secure. That's all. You don't want to compromise very thin wires. They're there. You're just trying to hold that thing in place. Okay, so that's it. So that's basically have it. The only thing we need to add now is we're going to clean up the zip ties. For things that might need tightening later, I won't cut them snug right up next to the block. This is not going to require tightening up later. Zip ties can let go a little bit and loosen, so I'm going to leave a little bit on this one. Careful you don't cut these wires when you're snicking away. Leaving just enough room for me to get in there with some needle nose pliers to make it tighter. And it can just happen that they get loose. And then this in particular motor mounts really do like to get a little loose sometimes. There's a lot of vibration and stuff. So I've not cut them completely trimmed, so now I can go in here with some needle nose pliers and tighten that a little bit if I need to. Okay. And, so these are probably cut too short. I should have left those a little longer because I'm not getting them and tighten them. I can't tighten them again now. All right, so last step is going to be the adding of the Velcro strip on the front. This is the way I do it now. It may change, but this is in an effort to maximize the longevity of these subdecks. So this is the hook or rough Velcro side, if you're going to be consistent with us. And then, let's see. Okay, and there. You don't have to do it all the way around. I do it because I'm paranoid about, particularly in cold weather, they like to go flying. This adhesive will let go. Okay. All right, so there we have it. That is a created sub deck that is ready for placement. Let's go check it out. Place it on the airplane. So here is our airframe. All right, so here it is, and we just take it. This is I'm going to have to be changed, but anyway, we won't worry about it. This is the hook side, and because this was an old design, I pulled it off of. That'll sit just like that. These servos will come in, and that is the left channel is always channel 2, and by convention, the right channel is always channel 1. If I did it wrong. Ground is towards the back, and this is towards the front. Now, and there we have it. I might pay a little more attention to the length of these leads, wrap them around something so that they don't get caught up in this prop. I'm just wrapping around these. We might want to add a further hole down here later. If I was going to make that super nice, but this is the basic idea. All right, thanks. Good luck. Send us pictures.